Well, good morning. My name is Linda Yates. I'm the Director of Education at Foreclosure.com, and I have here with me today Joe Martin. Welcome, Joe.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being here.
Well, we're excited to highlight you this month as part of our success story series that we have. Now, Joe, for those of you that don't know Joe Martin, Joe is from the Arizona area, and I love on his email signature that he puts to date since 2008, he has sold over 1,500 properties. I think that's amazing.
Oh, thank you. We're pretty excited about it too. Thank goodness I have a good team
Right, that's
to help
great.
me out.
So, Joe, tell us a little bit about what's going on in the Arizona market, if you would.
Well, the Arizona market the inventory has minimized itself, and so we're experiencing some of the things we saw back in the heydays of 2004 through 2006, and we're seeing a lot of multiple offers, and it's a very active buyer market at the moment.
Wow, that's great.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, property's finally turning, and it seems to be stabilizing as far as values a little bit too. So that's kind of nice.
Wow.
It's really become a bit of the perfect storm for buyers. So, with low inventory and low interest rates, it's really honestly one of the better times to buy that I've seen in literally years.
That's great. That's great. And Joe, you're a broker, and how many agents do you have in your organization? You're a RE/MAX broker as well.
Yeah, RE/MAX Diamond. We're over in Mesa, Arizona, which is just next to Phoenix and completely the surrounding area. We service that whole area. We have about 20 agents in our whole franchise, 21 agents, give or take.
Okay, great. And so what advice would you have to a first-time home buyer or an investor right now looking for that great deal or that great diamond?
Well, I think one of the big things, obviously I'm a realtor, so I would encourage everybody to get a reputable agent to work with so they can be protected and get some of those insights that they may not get, trying to do it on their own and that kind of thing. I would also get someone that had some experience with, bank-owned properties, short sales. There's a tremendous amount of distressed property, as you know, in the marketplace. Traditional is coming into play a bit more. But what I would really make sure to do is to get your paperwork right the first time. That's one of the big things that's really critical when you're turning in your offer, because I see a lot of offers kicked and the buyers losing out because they just missed out because people beat them to the punch when they turned in paperwork that was inaccurate and incomplete.
Okay, great. Yeah, great points actually. So getting your paperwork would be one of those big areas. And I guess, too, for the investors, we have a lot of investors that come to Foreclosure.com. What are you seeing as a trend, or what are your thoughts with regard to a trend of more REO being released on the market? Are you seeing that in your area? Are you starting to see in other parts of the country? What's your thought?
Well, the REOs, I mean, it depends upon the area that you're at. I mean, either you're still experiencing a tremendous amount of inventory. Around the country, there's different pockets that still have not stabilized as much as Arizona has. But there's still great buys here, and there still is.
Joe, you mentioned an ebook to me. Why don't you share everyone what that ebook is?
Yeah, well, the ebook that we were talking about was how to get your bank-owned offer to the front of the line. And then, of course, I go on and give some tips and strategies how to win the foreclosure bidding wars as well. There's some tips and stuff in there that are really valuable. You can get those at homestyleteam.com. And it's something that would be good for, buyers. Even agents ought to read it, because I have some tips on there of some of the common errors and mistakes that are constantly made that are getting offers not accepted, mainly of which I've mentioned a few times is the paperwork. But the other thing that we were talking about that I want to mention is about being committed. A lot of the people need to really get in and be committed to the deal. I mean, it's kind of like, well, it's the old ham and egg story. I mean, the pig is committed, the chicken is merely involved, But and in the deal, you got to go out there and do your due diligence prior to writing that offer, because things move very rapidly. A lot of the investors nowadays are coming in, they're waiving inspections, they're given non-refundable earnest money. And speaking of earnest money, that's one of the, let me give you a free tip right here, and that's about earnest money. All things being equal, the offer that's going to get accepted generally is going to be the one that has the higher earnest money. I've seen people even come in with earnest money completely, the earnest money that matched the offer price. In other words, if they were $45,000 price of a house or $100,000, they would come in with a full $100,000 earnest money. Well, compare those two, which one would you choose?
Right.
And it's obvious that the asset manager would choose the one that had the higher earnest money because of the commitment. I mean, you can't just put your toe in the water. The people are going and inspecting the homes in advance. And I'm not saying go out there and spend, $300-400 having an inspection up front, but you have some knowledge that's going to be, about the home and this kind of thing. And sometimes you're just going to have to roll a little bit of the dice or, move on to the next house if it's got too much, of a situation going on there. So,
okay. All right.
Hopefully
Yeah, that's great. Why don't you give us a couple tips for agents? Now, let's kind of change hats a little bit, because we do have agents and we are affiliated with the Agent University. So why don't you share with us some thoughts with regard to agents?
Well, the agents, some of the tips for agents this is the big tip for agents is, number one, download the pre-offer instructions of the REO agent that you're working with. And if you're doing short sales, I mean, there's instructions there too that you need to download, and you need to read them and read them thoroughly, because there are little tidbits of information in there that if you just skim through that, you're not going to get it. And then you're going to have that problem that comes up reoccurringly. It is the missing paperwork, missing initials, missing some piece that you needed to have, whether it's a form or a certain item of some sort in the offer package that gets missed. Then that means we have to go through, and we go through all the offer packages, and then we kick them back to the agents, and then they lose out because of the delay. Mm-hmm. I mean, the early bird does get the worm here if they because when you're dealing with a good, solid, reputable agent, they process the offers very rapidly, because the turnover, and everybody's graded on that contract close and all that type of thing.
All right, that's great. That's great information. And it does help a lot. And just as a reminder too, Joe actually is a broker in Arizona, and he has about 23 agents. Is that right?
Yeah, 20. I think it's about 21 right now.
21. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then he's a part of the RE/MAX Diamond team and has won several different awards throughout the years. And one of the things that I love about Joe is his great sense of marketing ability. And what is a marketing tip that you would share with agents?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that you can do as far as marketing yourself is to be sincere and get out there and start building relationships. I mean, let's face it, social media is a really big thing. So you need to be involved in, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the different social medias. Now the biggie is Pinterest, and just being involved and being in building a relationship and providing items of value up front. I mean, that's a key element in the whole scenario here. Is it's not really an ask and receive situation. It's a give and receive, and you're going to get tenfold back what you put out there. And just go out and give people your best stuff. Educate people things that can be really valuable to them, and the marketing message out there. I mean, obviously here we are on video. This is a big thing right now. Doing some video and stuff like that, but going in and providing good, valuable information to your clients, and that will be very, very helpful, I think.
Okay, great.
And one other thing that I want to mention is that one of the things that I've trained for years, and it's really when the true success begins, is when you begin to genuinely and honestly care about the person on the other side of that desk. Whether that desk is an internet connection or what, you've got to go out there and really genuinely care. And honestly, that's the big success secret that I've had in my career, is just to really have that genuine interest in the other person and filling their needs rather than putting my wallet first. Because, the money comes when you are out there, fulfilling people's needs and taking care of and being a really great listener.
Joe, why don't you share with everyone what's Joe's number one hobby besides being an awesome broker?
Helping others be successful.
Okay.
And, I love to do that. I love training. I like traveling. I like sitting around beautiful sunsets. I love to scuba dive. I haven't done that enough lately because we've just been so busy, and, it's all about balance. And I've been a little imbalanced the last couple of years. So, but I love taking, walks with my wife. She's from Florida, so she's actually over there now and is just down in Key West, and she's with visiting her relatives there. And I'm at home taking care of the dogs, and so and keeping things held together here. We're going. So anyway, just. I love to read and stuff like that, and I love writing. That's one of the big things.
That's great.
And one thing I didn't mention earlier that I wanted to add was about the necessity to really have the right mindset. And one of the things that has been very successful in helping me keep the right frame of mind is by doing a gratitude list on a daily basis. And I kind of put it out there as a challenge to everybody, is to get up and write down 10 things that you're actually grateful for. So you can start your day out with an attitude of gratitude. It makes a big, huge difference than getting up and being on that pity pot.
Yeah, that's really true.
So, and do different ones. I mean, don't do the same ones every day.
That's a great point.
And you'd be amazed after 10 days, what would happen.
That's great. Well, thank you, Joe, very much. And we're so thrilled to have you as our success story. And thank you for all that you continue to do and your help with us and the programs that we have. So we appreciate that.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Hey, by the way, did I tell you that we got the top 100 RE/MAX team in the world?
Oh, wow. Congrats. Wow, that's really great. That's really awesome.
Yeah, so that's actually 2 out of the last 3 years, so it's pretty cool. I was pretty proud of that. I'm really grateful for having a wonderful team to back me up.
That's great. And thank you, Joe, as well, for supporting our programs. We really appreciate all that you've done to help and to help our education along, as well as take our education and spread the word about our education. So thanks again.
Well, you're most welcome. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you this morning.
Great. Well, you have a wonderful day, and we wish you all great success in your individual lives. And we'll see you again as we highlight our next success story next month. Take care.
All right. Thanks a lot, Linda.